Hey folks, welcome to another edition of Play Branson, where you get to know Branson entertainers better. My name is Chris Meyer, and I'm here today with Haley Westrich. Haley, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I'm doing awesome.
Good.
It's almost the middle of July.
Yes, it's been so hot out too.
It has been a warm summer, but that's good for outdoor water activities. And so I've hit the lake several times already myself.
Me too.
And it's been fun, and we've got, as part of our episode today, every once in a while we will give you a few vacation tips, and we'll talk about publications in town. And here, I've done this before, but the new flavor of Branson is out. And so if you're, I got a fly flying around me, crazy. Anyway, if you're looking for coupons or all the Branson restaurants, this is going to be a hilarious episode. Anyway, you can come through here, check it out, but about 30 coupons. And that fly is driving me nuts. Then I have the taste of Branson. So if you're in, can you see this on the screen? It's like flying all over me. Okay, the taste of Branson. That is in your hotel room, so check that out, or go to bransonrestaurants.com. Okay, we're going to do a few dumb questions.
All right.
Or things that make you go, And if your car says Dodge on the front of it, do you really need a horn?
Oh my gosh.
That's okay, this one, someone's gonna probably not like this one, but it's funny. If you throw a cat out a car window, does it become kitty litter?
Oh goodness. It's terrible.
I love that one. That's funny. Okay, if you're not laughing, lighten up. Okay, why is it called lipstick if you can still move your lips?
That's a good point, yeah.
Why doesn't glue stick to the inside of the bottle? That's interesting. Okay, real quick, tell people about our guest.
All right. Well, we've got Rick and Josh from the Music Factory with us. So it's a neat act, so we're excited to have them with us.
New show in Branson.
Yeah.
Come back in just a minute.
There are so many things to do in Branson. You need help planning and booking all your fun. You need iBranson.com. You can find everything Branson has to offer from your computer, tablet, or cell phone. You can even buy tickets online or talk to one of their friendly Branson travel specialists. There's no sales pitches, no delivery fees, no service fees, and no waiting. It's fast and easy. Find your fun at iBranson.com. Do it all online or call 877-ENTERTAIN. That's 877-368-3782. iBranson.com.
Hey folks, welcome back to Play Branson, where you get to know Branson's entertainers better. And today we have a brand new show in town. It's called The Music Factory, and I have Josh and Rick. Welcome, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks. Great to be here.
So you guys just started the show, not too long ago, right?
Yeah, we started about 4 months ago with pre-show and development, and just getting things started in earnest now, and it's been great.
Okay. And so tell people a little bit about your history and how you guys got to Branson here.
You want me to start?
Sure, man.
Okay. All right. So it's a long story, so I'll give you a quick version and how Josh and I got together. I started out in music from the time I was a kid, and then I worked in film and television, and then I wrote some music for motion pictures. I was very, very honored to write a score for the late Ernest Borgnine for one of his last films before he passed away. And as a result of that, it took my music worldwide. It was a blessing and a half, beyond amazing. And I had a television special on Bravo International package with Andrea Bocelli in about 23 countries. Then went over to England and presented music as a gift to the royal family. And I'm giving you like a real synopsis.
Wow.
But then 9/11 came, and it was tough for everybody, as you know, and things that you can't even still speak inside. And with me, it really hit me hard because everything was musical to me, and it was like it all died. And I had a dear friend of mine who was my orchestrator out of Nashville, Don Marsh, who wrote to me or called me one morning after about 6 weeks after 9/11, and he said, "Rick, I'm worried about you. You need to start writing music again." And I said to Don, "Man, Don, I don't know, man." And he sent me a piece of anonymous poetry. And the poetry spoke about every war, every skirmish, every man and woman, every veteran that had suffered and died for my freedom in this country. And I'd never, ever really grasped it like that until I read that. And I sat down the next 2 days and wrote a symphony for a 100-piece orchestra as a message of hope, just pouring my heart out.
Wow.
Little did I know that that music would then be embraced by President Bush, the Department of Veterans Affairs, and the Pentagon, and would become the symphony that would be played on the Armed Forces Television Network as a live concert to our troops all around the world.
Wow.
And
That's
I
awesome.
was humbled
Yes.
in a huge way. Now, Josh and I got together. I met him when he was 4.5 years old.
He's not kidding.
I'm going to let him tell you what happened.
Yeah, Rick was a choir director back in the day when I was about 4 years old, and I walked in the back of the church with my grandma, and I was singing up a storm then, and irritating the people that were in their pews in front of me, and just wailing and singing as loud as I possibly could. And we got together. I made some trouble for him when I joined the choir, and
that's an understatement.
as a teenager, singing all the different voice parts from soprano to tenor, and we went our different directions. I went off to college and did some music, and traveled to Italy and trained with some of the best vocal teachers in the world. And we got back together a couple more times during the years and did some more music together. Then, just recently, I would say about 3 years ago now, we got back together, and the Music Factory was born, and here we are in Branson. Couldn't be happier.
And he's a humble guy, and I've got to tell you, he was singing with Kristen Chenoweth from Broadway, Wicked, Catherine McPhee from American Idol. He opened for Crystal Gale, and then he's called to Rome to sing for the Pope at the Vatican just a few years ago. So when we got back together, it was a natural thing. It was a miracle, because when we got together, the goal was, let's do something crazy here, because this will lead into what happened with the Music Factory. When I was writing music for motion pictures, I developed a keyboard system that was one of a kind, which I play to this day. And what it was, I developed the system, put it together, pardon me, for composing, not necessarily for performing. So back in the 80s, I heard and watched an incredible entertainer at Disney World by the name of Michael Iceberg. If you look him up online, he's still around. I think he's going to be 78 in July, still playing music. Michael was the godfather of the one-man orchestra with keyboards. He was doing it before the technology existed. So when I saw him in 1980, I decided I'm going to do that one day. Took me 26 years, and I figured it out. And this system allows me to play live without any tracks or CDs or recordings, up to 71 instruments live simultaneously, up to a full symphony.
He's like an advanced Michael Iceberg, I guess you could say.
Wow.
Yeah, with all the technology at his fingertips.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
it's pretty cool.
It's fun.
Yeah.
So when we got together, we decided, let's take the audience on a magical journey of all the music that inspired us, and that's how the Music Factory was born. So it's a musical magic show, because they're literally hearing me play things that they can't fathom where it's coming from, because they're not synthesized. They're the actual instruments of the orchestra. Real Steinway piano, real Taylor guitar.
No CDs.
No CDs,
Nope.
nothing. So I'm able to do it spontaneously, so every night's a little different. So.
Wow. So how did you guys get to Branson?
Well, it was interesting. We were doing some shows, and we had done some work down there with a wonderful man who is my mentor, Ron Logan, who is the executive VP of Disney Worldwide and founder of Walt Disney Entertainment. He was the founder and first president of Disney Theatrical, and he brought animation to Broadway, produced Beauty and the Beast, Lion King, and he's like a second dad to me. And Ron and I got together, and he was watching what we were doing. We did a couple commission shows for him, for some things. We did a concert at the Gleason Center for the Performing Arts in Florida, and things sort of geared up. Then we were led here through some contacts that said Branson could be a great home, because we wanted a place where we could settle, where music was the core. And my attitude, because my background is marketing and branding, that is a big part of my life. I looked at Branson, I said, wait a minute, they have branded themselves as the live music capital of the world. Well, the bottom line is that needs to be reinforced.
Exactly.
And that's why we came. And we are so grateful. The people here have been overwhelmingly kind in a way that we haven't experienced before. It's like, I feel like I've gone back to the 1960s growing up as a kid, where the morals, the ethics, the family, the God, the country, everything is real. I mean, there is no place. I never put it this way. A simple example, walking through Walmart, a kid knocks into you and says, "Oh, excuse me, sir."
Yeah.
You don't get that in Florida.
No, you don't.
Yeah. Well, you're saying all that, and I'm just smiling over here, because I'm like, yes, because that's really kind of the brand of Branson. It's
Yes,
about
sir.
God, family, and country.
Yes.
And
We've experienced all that since
and
we've been
so
here.
we you know, I always say there's all these different brands of faith and religion and God, but we all get along, you know, and that's the nice thing about it is you don't have to believe the same thing I believe, but we all at least we value a lot of those same common core ideas and ideals and morals, and so most definitely. So people were saying Branson is a place to come, and have you guys been here at all ever before? Or?
No. I'd never been to Missouri before.
I had a friend of mine that had played drums up here for one of your artists for about 20 years. That's all I knew about Branson. I knew what I read about because we never saw it advertised in Florida. So we didn't know Branson in Florida.
Okay.
So, but the good thing is that we studied. And as we studied more and more and more and looked at I looked at a retrospective of the last 15 years and studied it intently, almost religiously, I really started to understand what Branson was all about. But the heart and soul of the music industry here and the people, the musicians who are incredibly talented, incredibly talented.
Yep.
Well, the world needs to know about it.
I agree.
Absolutely.
And that's what we're going to try and do, but we're going to stop right here and we'll be back in just a moment.
Now I gotta cut loose, footloose, kick off your Sunday shoes. Please, Louise, pull me off of my knees. Jack, get back, come on before we crack. Lose your blues, everybody cut loose.
Hey folks, welcome back to Play Branson. Today we are with the Music Factory. We're with Josh and Rick, and guys, it's great to have you here. And so kind of talk a little bit now, you've transitioned to Branson and now what's going on? So.
Well, we have a lot of interesting things happening right now. The people are starting to come in a little bit more, so we're getting busy, and it's the audiences that have been coming in are from all over the place, different parts of the country, sometimes internationally, and we've met some really amazing people, and they've just embraced us from standing ovations that we're humbled by to just a new way of life. Yeah, big hugs every time.
Yeah,
So,
I mean,
yeah.
it's interesting. It doesn't matter whether you're playing to a few people or a bunch of people. It doesn't matter, because what's happening is we're realizing that, and we're really, really humbled by this. We have like a 98.5% approval rating of everyone who has seen the show. And we were the top reviewed show online in social media, which overwhelmed us. I mean, really, things we couldn't have written ourselves.
In 4 months, it's just
it's amazing.
Yeah.
But we're touched by it because what we do in the show is we take them on a journey of all the music that inspired us. So you're going from the 1960s, you're going from Billy Joel to Simon and Garfunkel to Queen to you name it. I mean, everything is happening in that show, and then by the second half, we're taking them on this crazy trip where I'm taking and bringing together those 71 instruments at a moment in the second half that they're overwhelmed because how's he doing that? The good thing is I can explain it. Many times we brought people up on stage after the show and shown them. Hey, this is what I do. Watch this.
That's my favorite part.
Yeah, other musicians have come up, right?
Yeah.
And they're amazing. But the people, we had a lady the other morning, that came to us, she said, what was that about the 16 shows?
Oh, yeah, it made me smile. She said, well, we've seen 16 shows in the 4 days that me and my husband have been here. We've come to Branson 60 times, and I asked her, what shows have you seen? I said, have you seen, Clay Cooper and the Haygoods? And she said, yeah, we've seen that, but you guys are number one. You're up there. I'm like, really?
It was crazy.
I was like, I really appreciate. You don't have to say that. Just being nice. You just saw the show, but they meant it, and I was just taken back by that because those are amazing shows.
Yeah.
So,
Oh my gosh,
I
you
mean,
kidding me?
very
Clay Cooper's the master.
yeah, you got that right.
Yeah.
So like if someone's going to go to the show, how would you describe it to them?
It's a journey. And basically what they're going to see is two things. Number one, musically, I'm playing everything live on a series of keyboards and bringing together everything from a simple piano to a 12-string guitar to an orchestra to a full rock band, everything they're hearing live. But we're playing the music that they don't expect. So when we do a Billy Joel medley and we do a tribute to Billy Joel, we're doing things that most people wouldn't even attempt. And yet we're taking it on and taking them through the deep heart of Billy Joel. And we've had great comments on that. There's a piece in there, a moment, or just a short version, where we do Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Who does Emerson, Lake and Palmer? Well, when we got into that, we have had more comments on that ELP song than almost anything we've done. That little ballad by Greg Lake that we do. And then when he takes off, then of course we go all the way to Broadway, like Michael Crawford. And that's an amazing moment.
From Van Halen to Michael Crawford.
You got a Van Halen song.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Van
so
Halen.
Okay.
this musical genius over here, and I'm going to call you that on TV here. He creates every arrangement custom to my voice, his voice, or in blending both of our voices. So we have a segment, and should I give it away?
Go ahead.
We have a segment in there where it starts off with Van Halen's Jump, moves on to the final countdown, and then
That's
ends
Europe,
with
right? Europe.
yes.
See, I know my music.
And then Aerosmith's Dream On.
Dream On, yeah.
So, and then towards the end, and the show, I'm heading to Broadway, and we're doing these ballads and these orchestrations
When
that are.
Yeah.
There's a moment in the show when he does a Michael Crawford piece from Jesus Christ Superstar that every night we do it, I'm on the brink of tears because something
He's the one
happens.
playing behind me. He's creating all the music.
It is amazing because I follow him, and we both have something that we try to share is that if it doesn't come from here, then don't do it.
Yeah.
So is it? And it sounds like it's just the two of you are on stage.
We're an orchestra of two.
That's
And
us.
so that is unique and different. And I'm sitting here going, I mean, you're doing a great job marketing because like I want to go see what you're doing because like how does
Come
it
and
work?
see us,
You know?
absolutely.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
want to. I'd love to, especially if you have a Van Halen song. Anybody that puts a Van Halen song in the show because that's my era. You know, 1980.
Well, then you'll like when we do Toto.
Yeah, Toto. I'm familiar with Toto. And I got to tell you this true story. I was in this dinky town of Manning, Iowa recently, and there's nothing hardly in the town, right? And so I'm just killing time. We're there for a family gathering, and so I go in the thrift shop, and I buy a Van Halen DVD. No, a CD. I was about to
They still have those?
CD.
It was used.
It was used.
Okay,
and I
that's
bought
it.
it for $1. And that was my one purchase in the thrift store was for $1. So anyway,
But what's amazing too is that there's always been the question: how can two people hold a stage of that size? Come and see. The lighting, the effects, everything we do, we literally dominate that stage because the music is so big. It's literally wall to wall sound, which is a little different for Branson. It's very big sound. When I'm playing a symphonic piece, you're hearing every instrument of that orchestra that is actually placed. If you're looking at it, if those orchestra players were on stage, they're in the position where they would be in your ear, exactly where they would be sitting in that orchestra.
You mean the Disney celebration?
Oh, the Disney celebration's amazingly fun.
Yeah.
So tell us times and tell us location, and if they want more information, you guys have your own website and that type
Yeah,
of thing.
themusicfactorylive.com. Everything's there. Themusicfactorylive.com.
Okay.
And right now we're at the Americana Theater, and we're there several times a week. Our times will be changing a little bit throughout our schedule, but we're there. And you can check on that. It's online and gives you the link directly to get tickets. Because we're there multiple times a week.
Okay.
And in addition to that, there's all kinds of great opportunities throughout the town to get tickets, of course, obviously.
Oh, yeah. And, of course, we always tell everybody, if you're going to get tickets, is go to ibranson.com
There
or
you
call
go.
1-877-ENTERTAIN, as this is promoted and sponsored by ibranson.com.
100%.
But we want to tell people how to come to you directly as well, and so they can go to
As long as
the
they go to
Music
iBranson
Factory.
first.
Yeah,
I
the
agree with you.
musicfactorylive.com. We don't
Visit
care.
us
Here's
second,
the
please.
deal. We want just people to come. However they get
Thank
their
you.
tickets, we really don't care. Well, we kind of do, but not really. People are like,
Of course you do.
Yeah, you
You
know.
better.
We did, but the main thing is we want to promote entertainment in Branson, and you
Absolutely.
guys are a new show, and I always tell people it's tough to be a new entertainer in town.
It is.
And so we just want to encourage you, keep hanging in there, keep hanging on, and it sounds like what you're saying is people are reacting really well to what you're doing.
Well, they are, and the bottom line is that we've got a few things up our sleeves in the sense that
Just a few.
we believe in this town at a level that we have not shown yet. but it will become evident very soon. And that particular heart that we have and things we're working on, we want to restore the heart and soul of Branson as the live music capital of the world and be part of that process.
Yeah.
That's all we can hope for,
Well,
because
yeah.
this town is full of some of the best music in the world.
Yeah.
And
That's
right.
that's the truth.
And I know I've got to wrap this up, but I love your passion, and I'm totally behind your passion, because
Thank you.
You can't go anywhere else in the country and get the type of live
sir.
family entertainment that you can get in Branson, Missouri. And so, and I'm a believer in it, and I've been to all the other places, and I still come back here, and it's great. So, folks, we got to go. Stay tuned. We got another segment coming up. We'll be right back.
The award-winning Quality Inn West. It's the closest hotel in Branson to Silver Dollar City and near Branson's IMAX complex. Relax in the indoor pool or hot tub. The hotel offers relaxing queen rooms and 2-room suites. Enjoy each morning's free hot breakfast inside or out on the patio. For more information or to make reservations, call 800-443-8694.
Hey folks, this is Chris. I'm with Play Branson, and we are on location. You'll notice I'm standing with Betsy, the cow, today, and she is my co-host right here. And we are at the Great American Steak and Chicken House. And so you can see that in the back of us. It's a thing very unique, and from the very beginning, when you come in, you're going to see Mr. Peck. He is 43 feet tall, the world's largest, tallest rooster, and so you can't miss it if you're driving out on Highway 76. You come in here, you're going to have the opportunity to big menu to eat lots of different things on their menu. Of course, they have chicken, they have steak, they have burgers, they have buffet, they have a breakfast buffet, they have a lunch buffet, and then on certain times they have a dinner buffet as well here. So you can get buffet or menu service at the Great American Steak and Chicken House. And if you'll notice, the theme's kind of got a country theme. We've got the tractor in the background, we've got a couple more cows in the background, and it's just a fun atmosphere to come check out. You can't get this anywhere else in the world. This is the only place that it is here in Branson, Missouri. And so just to let you know a few of my highlights here, they've got a variety of drinks. So if you're interested in drinks, they've got a variety of drinks, appetizers. They've got the fried pickles and the chicken nachos. Those are really good. And then lots of burgers, steaks. How about a T-bone? Would you like a T-bone steak? And then we've got things that would come from Grandma's kitchen, like meatloaf, liver and onions, country fried steak, fried fish, fried shrimp dinners, lots of different chicken, and of course then they have some combos where you can get like steak and ribs. You can get a smoky chicken and rib combo, so lots of different stuff there. And of course they have dessert. And all vacations require dessert. And remember, just when you're on vacations, calories do not count. So this has been another off-site location. I'm here with Betsy at the Great American Steak and Chicken House. Come check us out here on West Highway 76, right in front of the Tanger Outlet. Well, we've had an interesting show today. The guys from the Music Factory, I really want to go see what
Me
they're
too.
doing, you know,
Yeah.
and I think it's really tough to put on a show for two entertainers, but when they talk about the whole orchestra.
Right.
So
There's just so much going on with it.
I definitely want to check that out. And we just had the Great American Steak and Chicken House. We talked about that. You can't miss that place. There's a big
No.
chicken up on Highway 76, and Nolan and them have themed a lot of their restaurants. And my thing is now dangling here. I'm just having so many problems today. Okay, we have some exciting events coming up. Do you remember what's on the list, or do I just need to tell?
don't.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we have Retro Futura at the Welk Resort on July 18th. That's an 80s concert, and there's some really cool people. Of course, I'm from the 80s, so like Belinda Carlisle, I think Modern English, and some other folks are going to be there. So go check that out at the Welk Resort. And then you have the last 10 days to catch the Silver Dollar City's Star Spangled Summer. And then next episode, do you know who the next episode is?
Who do
you
we
don't
have?
remember, do you?
No, I don't.
We have some folks from AO.
Yes.
And so they're awesome. Be sure to check out our episode next Thursday. And hey, be sure to go to our Facebook page. Tell us what you're thinking. Send us your feedback. Like us if you haven't liked us. And tell your friends about Branson shows and entertainment. And so we thank you for watching. Until next week, we'll see you soon.
Try something different this vacation. Bring the whole family to Branson Segway. Segways are the most fun on two wheels since the bicycle. It's safe and fun. Ride at your own pace on our specially designed track. You can do it.
I don't know if I can do this, guys. I don't know.
To get your family from ho-hum to adventure, ride a Segway. Branson Segway and Adventure Center on Highway 165, just 1 block south of Titanic.
Come on, slowpokes! Ride like the wind!